And now, Reformer802.com Real Talk blogger Shanta asks you to ponder this.
My partner looked me squarely in the face in the middle of the night on Wednesday and asked, "What do you think of the election outcome?" During the night that we were actually watching the election, both of us reacting in shock as poll numbers were coming in, I pulled out several art books and started thumbing through the pages. What else could I do? And as I thought about his question, I thought about all of the episodes from my childhood until now of the America I always knew as my reality. I finally answered. There are many saying that this is terrible, but can it be any worse than the news that I heard when I was 19 years old about a black man in Texas who was dragged for several miles and died from decapitation? Is this any worse than the park that was around the corner from my house growing up, where individuals would either shoot up drugs and or sleep in the park because they were displaced? The litany of inequity and racism I witnessed continued during the course of our conversation, while we also tried to focus on the what next strategy and the need to move through the stages of grief as a nation. I had to press the pause button last week and think about this through the lens of existing in a brown female body in America, which led to a short list of things I did not need Donald Trump to remind me of, given my frame of reference. It is also a way of taking some power back to clearly view the roads we already travel as a country. So here goes. Number 1, we are racist. I was aware of this each and every time I was lectured to keep my hands out of my pocket as a little girl in stores so that I would not be perceived as a thief or a threat. And of course, I know this reality every time I hear the latest body count for incarceration and or the rate of black males being murdered by law enforcement in this country. Number 2, we are sexist. Women are still making a fraction of the dollar alongside the fact that we're still having the conversation about the clash between career and motherhood. Also, let's not forget the many laws and attempted laws we've tried to establish around the right to choose or access to birth control. Number 3, we are xenophobic. Remember 9/11? There is one piece that I witnessed that happened almost overnight. We turned another segment of our population into the other, and our visions of the terrorist became very specific. Remember Ahmed Mohammed? The poor kid who was only trying to bring his science project to school, and yet everyone thought it was a bomb. He got arrested. Remember the Japanese internment camps? Let's not also forget our long history with immigrants coming into this country. Number 4, we have deep divisions of inequity in our country. There is a town that I love in Vermont that I won't name, but the only thing I know about the town is how beautiful it is on the surface, alongside an elite populace. I did not know anything about the trailer part, and in fact, when someone tried to explain that there was a whole community that looked nothing like the wealthier parts of this particular town, I was in disbelief. We see or experience the deep divisions every day in our country, some of us more than others. Given what I already know and what some of us are now seeing or realizing on a bigger scale, the question is more about what we're going to do about it, besides talking about running to another place. Wherever we choose to go, we will still have to deal within and among ourselves. This is not a kumbaya moment, and I know that all of us are where we need to be in our own stage of grief. The other day, as I talked to my social justice students about moving through the stages of grief around this election, one of them asked, "Where are you with your grieving?" I looked back at her and gave her the most honest answer I knew. I've been already grieving, sad, and angry for a very long time with various injustices. So I must say, I've been grieving long before this. And at this point, I just want to know about what's next. And perhaps this is an opportunity we can seize to become a more united states than we've already been.